Alright, in this video we're going to try and answer the 20 multiple choice questions as soon as possible. Question 1 says the solution to 6 plus 4x over 5 equals 26 is what? This question is asking us to solve for x. What is x? What does that equal? So we just chuck it straight into solve in our calculators. 6 plus, use the control divide sign to get this up, equals 26, comma x equals 25. So that's going to be A. The second question says when simplified, we know when we're simplifying, all we have to do is throw in the question into our calculator without doing anything else. So let's just go control, divide, go 2x over 5 minus x over 2, and it equals minus x over 10. So our answer is going to be B. Next question talks about linear graphing. We can see here that this here is crossing over the y-axis. So we say y equals -3, and this here is crossing over the x-axis. So we say x is 5. You can see here that the answer is B. Question 4 says, what's the chance of being dealt 4 aces in a row from a standard shuffle deck of playing cards of 52? Well, if we think about what's the chance of getting an ace first up? Well, we've got 4 aces out of 52. So we've got a 4 in 52 chance. If we don't replace that ace, the next time that we draw out a card, if we didn't replace it, and let's say we got an ace the first time, well, there's 3 aces left, and there's only 51 cards. Well, let's say we've got another ace. What's the chance of us getting another one? Well, there's only 2 left, and there's 50 cards. And the next one, there's 1 ace, and there's 49 cards. So what we have to do is total all of those fractions to work out what the probability of that happening is. So we go 4 over 52 times 3 over 51 times 2 over 50 times 1 over 49, and that equals 1 over 270,725, which is E. The next question is actually really similar. It says to win First Division Tats Lotto, a player must select 6 numbers drawn randomly from the numbers 1 to 45. The numbers are not replaced. What's the probability of winning Division 1? Well, we have to get 6 in a row this time. So the chances we had 6 at the start over 45. If we got 1, well, we only had 5 left and there was 44. If we got 2, well, there's only 4 left and we got 43. And obviously we needed 6 balls. So this is going to keep going until it gets to 1 times 1 over 40. So we need to put all of them into our calculators. 6 over 45 times 5 over 44 times 4 over 43 times 3 over 42 times 2 over 41 times 1 over 40. Hit enter and we see that it equals 1 over 8,145,060. That answer is going to be D. Up to question 6. Well, for this we're going to need our exam book and we're going to need the measurement part. It says 390 millimeters is the same as what? Well, if we're going millimeters to, so if we go centimeters to millimeters, we're going that way, millimeters to centimeters is this way. So if we're going to go from 390 millimeters, let's divide it by 10 to go 390 390 divided by 10 equals 39. And that answer for A is correct, 39 centimeters. It's obviously not going to be 390 centimeters, it's not going to be 3.9, or it's not going to be this. If we actually go 390 divided by 10 to equal 39, if we divide it by another 100 and put it into meters, as this one says, divide by 100, you'll see that the answer is 39 on 100, or if we go convert that to a decimal, it's actually 0.39. So in this question, there's actually two answers. And that's basically a mistake that we've made. There shouldn't be two answers on here, and there won't be on the exam. Next question says, if the perimeter of the shape is 33.7, what's the value for x? Well, we want to add all of these up and work out what x is. So let's go to our calculator and go 33.7 minus 10.8 minus 5.6 minus 8, that equals 9.3. I might actually pause and do that another way. So we could have gone solve and gone x plus 10.8 plus 5.6 plus 8 equals 33.7, comma x, to also work out what all of these added together are, obviously to equal 33.7. Next question says that a right triangle has a hypotenuse of 6 meters, another side of 4.3 meters. Note that this label was actually wrong on the original exam. It said 3.4. The length of the remaining side is closest to what? Well, we need to use Pythagoras here, whereas a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But let's call this a, let's call this b and c. So this is going to be 4.3 squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to put this in to solve for b. Now this should obviously say 6, not so if we're substituting, this will say 4.3 squared plus, let's say, x squared, because that's what we're trying to work out, equals 6 squared. And if we use solve to work this out, we would go solve for whatever we want, and in this case it is x. So let's go solve 4.3 squared plus x squared equals 6 squared, comma x, and we see that we can't have a negative, it must be a positive, so that answer is closest to 4.2. Next question. This says the area of a given sector. Well, we should get our exam book out and find where sector is. Sector is down here on your area. And here is the formula that we need. The first thing you should do is straight away write down what that formula is. So area equals the angle inside the sector over 360 times pi r squared. If I just simply substitute, we will realize that A equals remember it's the area inside, really importantly, it's the angle, inside. So we should go 90 over 360 times pi, the radius is 10 squared, and if we put this into our calculator, we should get an answer. So let's go 90 over 360 times pi times 10 squared, and we see that it's 25 pi, which control enter is 78.54, which is C. Question 10. We can see that that's a trapezium. So if we go to a trapezium, here is our formula that we're going to use. So we'll go area equals half x plus y times the height, where we've got height already marked, and let's call this one x, let's call this one y. If we substitute, it will say area equals half 10 plus 12 times x. The thing that we are missing here is that the area is 62.7. So what I should have written here, 62.7. And this time, obviously, we're going to solve for h. So we should have solve written there. And we're solving for h. So if we put it in, solve 62.7 equals a half bracket 10 plus 12, close the bracket, times that by h, and then go comma h. We'll see that h equals 5.7. Next question is probability. A letter is chosen randomly from the word absolutely. The probability that the letter is a vowel is what? Well, how many vowels are there? There's A, O, U, and E. How many letters are there all up? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 4 out of 10, which simplifies to 2 out of 5, which is E. Question 12 says an experiment involves tossing 3 biased coins and counting the number of tails. Here are the results after running the experiment 100 times. The experimental probability of obtaining at least one tail. Well, that means that we have to add up all of these, because here we got 3 tails 36 times. Is that at least one tail? Yes. Here we got 2 tails 29 times. Is that at least one tail? Yes. And the last one is at just one tail, and that happened 20 times, so we have to add that one up as well. So 20 plus 29 plus 36 is going to equal 85 on 100. If we put that into our calculator, it will simplify down to 17 on 20. And we can see that that is answer A here. The next question is got Venn diagrams. So we should get up our Venn diagram. So we should get up our Venn diagram that has been helping us and just match up what we are being asked. So this says not A intersection B. If we find not A intersection B, it will be here, and that is that color there, which is obviously A. Pretty simple question if you've got that in your exam book. The next question says the value of x in the two-way table is what? All we have to do is complete the table going down and going across. So if the total is 12 and that's 7, then the gap here must be 5. If 25 is the total and 7's here, then the gap here must be 18. The gap here must be 13. The gap here must be 11. And the answer for us must be 2. C is 2. Question 15. Boxes A and B contain 4 counters each. Box A contains 2 red and 2 yellow. And box B contains 3 red and 1 yellow. A box is chosen at random and then a single counter is selected. This says for us to draw a tree diagram. We want to know what the probability of selecting a red counter is. So if we draw a tree diagram, we can get box A or B at the start, because that's what we're told. We're told that we get a box first and then a counter. So we can get a box or a counter, and the probability of getting them is obviously a half. Once we get there, in box A, there was 2 red and 2 yellow. Red, yellow, and there was 2 out of 4, 2 out of 4. In box B, there was 3 red and 1 yellow. So there's 1 out of 4 and 3 out of 4. The question is asking us, remember, what's the probability of getting a red counter? So we need to add up the A and R and the B and R. So the probability of that happening was a half times 2 over 4, which is also a half. The probability of this one happening is a half times 3 over 4. So the answers for this part was obviously 3 over 8, and this part was also 3 over 8. If we add them together, we get 6 over 8, which is 3/4. So our answer is E. Quadratics is very simple because we just chuck it in our calculators. So let's go. It says the expanded form of this is what? Let's go expand, bracket, put another bracket in because that's what it says, x plus 1, bracket, bracket, x plus 7, hit enter. We see x squared plus 8x plus 7 is going to be D. This question says the gradient of the equation is what? To get the gradient, we know that we need y equals mx plus c. The only difference here is that it says 2y, so we need to get rid of that 2y. To do that, we divide both sides by 2. If we divide both sides by 2, these numbers are going to be halved. So it's going to say minus 8 divided by 2, obviously equals minus 4. So our gradient is going to be minus 4. Question 18. Question 18 is saying, what is this equivalent to? So what all that need is saying is just type it into your calculator. X plus 3, bracket, bracket, x plus 3, bracket. You see that it says x plus 3 squared. Now, we don't see that as our answer here. There are brackets here, so that's a bit of a giveaway. Let's type it into expand and see if we get one of these answers. So we'll go expand x plus 3, bracket x plus 3, hit enter, and bang, we see that this answer does actually appear, and it is B. So sometimes you might have to do some trial and error to find. Question 20. The line which is parallel with the line y equals 2x plus 1 is what? The easiest way to do this is to put them all into your calculator. So if we go to a graph page and we start entering equations and simply keep doing it until we find which one is parallel. Y equals 2x plus 1 is the one that we want to get parallel to. Let's try the first one. So we go menu, graph entry, equation, line, and it's obviously in the form of this third one, ax plus by equals c. So this says 2x plus 1y equals minus 2. That's no good. The second one is the same, but notice that y is at the front and x is at the back. That's important. If we're entering it again, it's actually minus 2x plus 1y. Minus 2x plus 1y equals 12. That looks pretty good. I reckon we're going to give that one a bit of a tick. Keep entering though, just in case. Next one's going to say 1x minus 2y equals 4. No good. Next one is 2x minus 1y equals 6. No good. And the last one is going to say 1x minus 1y equals minus 2. And we can see that that is no good either. So The answer must be B.